What's up, big ass niggas? This your boy J Miles, and I'm back with another video. And you know what to do. If you're new, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, leave a like, comment, let me know what you're thinking, but most importantly, make sure you share it with your glad friends. On today's video, we will be covering Power Book 3, Raising Kanan. And this one right here is titled, Is Your Boy Breeze a Cop? Now, this particular theory was brought to me quite a while ago, honestly. Great shout out to Tony Montana, one of my subscribers. He's been pushing this for a while. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and put this out there first and foremost. I do not believe that he is a cop, but I will say this. After talking with somebody else on the live last night, I can't remember exactly who brought this particular thing up, but basically he was talking about that, you know, basically it's kind of ironic, you know, how Ray ended up taking out Raina in front of Tariq, and taking out Tariq in front of, Ray took out Raina in front of Tariq, and he's speculating that perhaps, you know, Ghost's father was taken out in front of Ghost. And you know how Power loves to do these parallels. They'll tell similar to the same story, like these little cycles that be going on, but it's, of course, it's done differently. So when I got that piece of information, I was like, okay, that's good enough that I can make a video on it. But like I said, I don't believe Breeze is a cop myself, but I'm gonna go ahead and share this particular video with you guys, and y'all can be the judge in the comment section. So without further ado, let's just go ahead and get into it. Now, as we know, last season in Raising Kanan, we were introduced to Branford Frady, aka Breeze, the nephew of Snaps and Pop Henry. So in his introduction, you know, they didn't really give us too much. You know, Snaps and Pop described him as brilliant, a thinker, what else he called him, a philanthropist or some shit like that, whatever the fuck he called him. But anyways, he basically was saying that, you know, he's still learning, but, you know, he's young and he's still learning like you, but he's one of the most brilliant minds you'll ever see. So, and just from that alone and stuff like that, and him driving the Porsche, it doesn't look like he'll be a cop. But hey, perhaps he could turn out to be like Detective Carter or Alonzo Harris, or, you know, all these crooked cops that, you know, are making money other ways by extorting people. Because they keep in mind, this is the key here. It's said in when Uncle Gabe was talking with Ghost, and I'm gonna share that video in just a minute. When Uncle Gabe was talking with Ghost, basically he was saying that his father was being extorted for money, and he didn't want to do it because Ghost's father didn't want to do it because he said it would bankrupt him. So he decided to go and tell the cops. So we know that, you know, if that's the case, and Breeze, that would kind of make sense, you know what I'm saying? Breeze tried to extort him, similar to how Carter was extorting the drug dealers in the neighborhood. So that part right there, you know what I'm saying, taxing the drug dealers makes sense if he turns out to be like a, you know, Detective Carter or Alonzo Harris. All of that would make sense. You feel me? And here's another thing that's crazy, this random. What if Breeze and Carter somehow are related, and that's the reason why, you know, Carter has a sour taste about Ghost? Just throwing it out there. But anyways, let's go ahead and take a look at what Uncle Gabe had to say.
Why didn't you come back? I haven't seen you since the night he died. I went to live with Tommy. Remember him, Uncle Gabe? Only white boy in the neighborhood, Tommy. I tried to tell your father we needed to pay those drug deals to leave us alone. He said that it would bankrupt us. Oh, shit. I don't know. You know, maybe he was right. But I lie awake at night thinking about it all the time. Yeah, but you don't have to, Uncle Gabe, you know? I got to know that you understand that I tried to tell him not to talk to the police. That those kids were bad news.
So, there you have it. You hear what Uncle Gabe had to say. Basically, he was telling us that, you know, they were being extorted by some drug dealers. Now, we do know that during that particular time, Breeze was the big dog over that time. Now, it could be a totally different set that was, you know, messing with Ghost's father. It could be. But I think it is very likely that Breeze himself, I did a video on this before. If you haven't seen it already, I advise you, you know, to go ahead and just check it out. But about Breeze, you know, saying that, you know, as long as we agree on business, we agree on everything. Remember, he said that in the finale of Raising Kanan this past season. So he's always going to go with business over, you know, over anybody's family or logic. He don't care. And that's probably the reason why Ghost described him as crazy, you know, crazy, and that he was going to get them all, you know, killed. So that's the first piece of, you know, that we had. Now let's kind of go to the part where, you know, they're saying, here's a more part with the parallels. Because remember, if you pay attention to Ghost's reaction here, this is another thing I wanted to point out before I leave this video. Hold on, I'll go back a slight second. Pay attention to Ghost's reaction once Uncle Gabe was saying, you know, was talking about the death of Ghost's father.
But I lie awake at night thinking about it all the time. Yeah, but you don't have to, Uncle Gabe, you know? I got to know that you understand that I tried to tell him not to talk to the police. That those kids were bad news.
You see the guilt on Ghost's face? So it kind of seems like to me that he may have somehow been involved. Now, I know a lot of people has speculated that Ghost himself may have taken out his father, but I kind of think that's not the case. It's probably more than likely that he was involved with the people who did it. So that's why he felt guilty. You know what I'm saying? And that's probably the reason why he ultimately took out Breeze. And it could have been the thing that he told Breeze to change his mind about, but Breeze wouldn't budge. I did a video on this already. But you see the guilt on Ghost's face. And I think it could be because Breeze actually executed his father in front of him, very similar to when Raina was executed in front of Tariq, right? And just like, you know, we heard Uncle Gabe here say he tried to tell his father not to go to the police, but he said that would, you know, it would bankrupt them if they did that. So he went ahead and didn't listen to Uncle Gabe and went to the police. Didn't a similar situation happen with Raina and Tariq? Yes, it did.
That's why he wants to talk to me, to make sure I don't tell Mom or Dad. You cannot tell anyone. You can't. It'll just make things worse if you snitch. I mean, I'm serious. You cannot tell.
I won't tell.
So, you heard that. This is right before, this is when, you know, Ray showed up at Raina's school, Raina and Tariq's school. Of course, Tariq skipped school that particular day. So Ray ended up trying, you know, seeing Raina. And Raina ended up telling Tariq that Ray came looking for him. And that's when Tariq revealed to her, that Ray Ray was looking for him to make sure he didn't tell his dad or his mom. Now, in this case, Raina didn't tell, and she paid the price for it. So it's like, you know how the parallels go with power. It'd be very similar, but it'd be different. Sometimes it can be different outcomes. So in this particular case, Raina paid the price for it because she didn't tell. And Ghost's father paid the price because he did tell. Similar situations, but you know, different outcomes. Well, I mean, same outcome. So you know, very similar to this scene here, when Raina confronted Ray Ray, I think it's possible that maybe Ghost's father knew what was going on with Ghost, because keep in mind, Ghost told us that his father tried to get him to turn his back on the drug life, but he wouldn't listen. So perhaps, maybe Ghost's father confronted the dealers, perhaps Breeze, and tried to tell them to leave his son alone. I already called the cops. And just like Raina,
Who you are, Ray Ray. You need to leave my brother alone.
I think just like Raina, Ghost's father could have been executed right in front of, not in front of Ghost, maybe Ghost watched from a distance, very similar to how Tariq watched from a distance, as they both were helpless to stop the outcome. And perhaps, before I get up out of here, perhaps this is the reason for why Ghost was so pissed off at Tariq.
If he wasn't so fucking stupid, your sister would still be alive. Don't you get that? No. Come back here. I'm not finished with you. Get here. I said, get in here. Get up. Stand up.
Ghost! Come on.
So, perhaps Ghost saw his younger self in Tariq being there, you know what I'm saying, being responsible for the death of their loved one. And it just pissed Ghost off that his son, after all he gave him, made the same mistake that he made. And he didn't have to live in that life. He just chose to do it. So, I don't know, people. Like I said, in my opinion, I don't think that, you know, Breeze is necessarily a cop. But I think it is possible that maybe his father was executed in front of him. I think that could have been a possibility. The only part I'm not exactly sure on is him being a cop. But hey, it could very much be a possibility. So, you know, definitely let me know in these comment section, do y'all think it's possible that Breeze is a cop? And even if you don't agree with the cop part, what do you think of the other theory? Is it possible that Ghost's father was executed in front of him, just like Raina was executed in front of Tariq? Let me know all of that and more in the comment section. But like usual, if you're cool with me, fool with me, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, leave a like, comment, let me know what you're thinking. But most importantly, make sure you share with your glad friends. But until the next video, I'm out.